getting the photo that I wanted for like 8-9 months. I know some photographers wait for like years to get the photo they want, but yeah.
In this video, I capture my all-time favorite forest photo along with a whole range of other forest photos I really like. So lean back and enjoy this video from an atmospheric autumn morning in Denmark.
So it's early morning and autumn is just peaking. It's absolutely beautiful with the red and orange colors. I've come to the deer garden up here north of Copenhagen. I want to come here when the conditions are optimal. The problem is that the conditions are just rarely optimal. So it looked so good on the fog indicators yesterday, like 100% on clear outside. Windy said it, the Danish Meteorological Institute said there will be fog. And it's not that we don't have fog, I would just call it more like, mist, as it doesn't look that well. So I have to stay out in the open areas, and that's also fine. I can photograph the trees, but to get that separation I need big areas. But it's also good because they are quite optimal right now. They look beautiful, all these big old oaks, like hundreds and hundreds of years old. And the first shot right here is I am photographing over here in this direction towards this area over here. And as you can see, there's a decent separation to the background. So I think I can get something. But again, it's going to be super long lens photos because it's all the way out at 400mm. So to get depth, I really need to work that scene and make sure there's something in the foreground and in the background. Hopefully also a bit more that I can introduce to the midground. But yeah, first photo, beautiful. So what I really love about coming here is that there's actually quite a big amount of diversity in the forest, and just as you're coming in from the gate, you're already met with so many beautiful old oaks. And it's really hard to get out of this location because it's just like you walk, composition, walk, composition, walk, composition. And then you combine it with all the different deers that are around in the park. So I was just photographing in the direction here behind me, really beautiful, old, twisty, gnarly oaks. And then right there in the background, there's a little deer looking. And I just love having those small elements like deers, birds and so forth in my photos. It just gives so much more life, so much more interest. Like, yeah, a little nugget there in the background that you can see if you take your time to actually explore the photo. Looks beautiful. I'm getting the photo that I wanted for like 8-9 months. I know some photographers wait for like years to get the photo they want, but yeah. So I've come to an area of the park which is quite swampy, boggy-ish, but it has these absolutely incredible trees all around here with like kind of exposed root systems. So it looks super, well, it's atmospheric because it's foggy now, but also like very fairy tale-ish, and yeah, there's just so much mood in this area here. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting for optimal conditions, and finally it happened. Obviously you could have a little bit more fog, but don't be greedy. And yeah, I'm blabbering on you. Let me explain you what it is I'm actually photographing right here. So the scene is right here, and there should be absolutely no doubt about what the centerpiece of this composition is. It is obviously this tree right here with that crack in it. And as I'm seeing right now, it actually looks really good, this specific composition right here. I'm shooting a little bit further in with my camera. Right here you can see I have it on intervalometer, simply just because I'm talking with you guys now, and if the fog moves a little bit, it's nice to also capture that. I've walked through these plants here. I'm not sure what they're called in English, but you know, they burn. So yeah, what you don't do to get the photo, but this here is just like, oh, it's so gnarly, so moody here. Look at this, compositions everywhere. And over here, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of wasting my time talking with you, I guess. So I'll just get back to shooting. One more thing with this specific one, because I'm shooting with such a long lens focal range, focal length, I have to focus tag it. So even though I'm shooting an f16, I focus one on the main subject tree, and then some of, and then a photo for the front trees. What I'm really happy about is that these trees, specific trees here, haven't really turned to autumn. So I get the green leaves, which is what I wanted. I didn't want the autumn colors for this specific scene. And the reason why it also works, contrary to the winter photo, is that there are leaves on the trees. So the canopy in the background is also closed off. I'll show some comparison photos between the one I got this spring and then this one here. But this is just like, yes, yes. Here comes one of several more photos.
I really love this composition, and it is my all-time favorite forest photo. Everything I love about forest photography comes together here. A strong yet simple composition among some old characteristic trees, the optimistic yet cold greens to calm the photo, contrary to the vibrant autumn colors, atmosphere to not just create separation throughout the scene, but add that fairy tale vibe to the photo. Gorgeous. If you followed my channel for a while, you know I have actually captured several different versions of this scene, including both a spring and winter version. Comparing the three photos, the perception of this same scene is very different, and goes to show why visiting the same scene in different conditions is very important.
Everything is just so twisty and gnarly and fairy tale-esque, like so beautiful. So good. There's just compositions everywhere. So I'm just like obviously thinking about separation, and I'm basically thinking about how to place the different trees in relation to each other, so I don't have too much overlap, and where I do have overlap, that it hopefully makes sense think about the foreground, midground, background. Sometimes it's only basically foreground and background if I'm shooting with the longer focal lengths, which I generally tend to do because I don't want to include too much of the canopy. So I just want to shoot into the forest to make sure that the brightest part of the scene is in the background but close to the ground. I think that concentrates the eye more into the scene. So these are all the things I think about when I think about composition, and obviously I cover these things in my composition ebooks. There are links down to them in the description of the video. You can get the free light versions first if you want to check them out. Else you can just go ahead and get the full versions. Easy to read, plenty of examples and photos as examples. And yeah, I think that was it. Definitely go ahead and try them, and thank you to all of you who have already got them, and thank you for all the 5-star reviews. It really means a lot.
I captured so many atmospheric forest photos this morning, and without lingering too much on the settings, they were all taken at f16 ISO 100 in aperture priority, where I exposed to the right but made sure not to clip the highlights. I've already shown my favorite photo, but there is one more photo which I find stands a bit over the others. Sadly, I didn't get to film it properly and only got this shaky B-roll, but I'm sure you get why that's the case when you see the final photo here. If you want to learn more about composition, be sure to get my ebooks. As mentioned, they are easy to read with loads of examples. There are links to everything down in the description of the video, including my newsletter with exclusive offers, workshop announcements, new video upload notifications, and there is a link to my big editing course, Photoshop for Landscape Photographers 2, with a $45 discount. See you next time.